Good Thursday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Conversations Daily News. Glad you all could be with us. Well, we made it over the hump, and we're in the home stretch tour at the weekend. We, of course, you have your news headlines coming up on this Thursday. We have a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. And in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you report to my conversation with author Colette R. Harrell, discussing her literary journey and new book Later. As you guys know, October is National Book Month, so it was great to be able to catch up with Colette and share a bit of her story. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Thursday headlines. In international news, Putin signs annexation of Ukrainian regions as losses mount. Russian President Putin signed the final papers Wednesday to annex 4 regions of Ukraine while his military struggled to control the new territory that was added in violation of international laws. Ukrainian law enforcement officials, meanwhile, reported discovering more evidence of torture and killings in area retaken from Russian forces. In Lyman, an eastern town liberated after more than 4 months of Russian occupation, residents emerged from their destroyed homes to receive packages of food and medicine. In a defiant move, the Kremlin held the door open for further land grabs in Ukraine. Speaking in a conference call with reporters, the Kremlin spokesperson said that certain territories will be reclaimed and we will keep consulting residents who would be eager to embrace Russia. The spokesman did not specify which additional Ukrainian territories Moscow is eyeing, and he wouldn't say if the Kremlin planned to organize more such referendums. Putin last week signed treaties that purported to absorb Ukraine's Donetsk and other regions into Russia. The annexation followed Kremlin-orchestrated referendums in Ukraine that the Ukrainian government and the West have dismissed as illegitimate. The Russian president defended the validity of the vote, saying it's more than convincing and absolutely transparent and not subject to any doubt. This is objective data on people's mood, Putin said Wednesday at an event dedicated to teachers, adding that he was pleasantly surprised by the results. Putin also signed a decree Wednesday declaring that Russia was taking over the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, the largest in Europe. Ukraine's foreign minister called it a criminal act and said it considered Putin's decree null and void. The state nuclear operator said it would continue to operate the plant, which was occupied by Russian forces early in the war. On the ground, Russia faced mounting setbacks, with Ukrainian forces retaking more and more land in the eastern and southern regions that Moscow now insists are its own. The precise borders of the areas Moscow is claiming remains unclear, but Putin has vowed to defend Russia's territory, including the annexed regions, with any means at his military's disposal, including nuclear weapons. Shortly after Putin signed the annexation legislation, the head of the Ukrainian President Zelensky's office wrote on his Telegram channel that the worthless decisions of the terrorist country are not worth the paper they are signed on. Zelensky responded to the annexation by announcing Ukraine's fast-track application to join NATO. In a decree released on Tuesday, he also ruled out negotiations with Russia, declaring that Putin's actions made talking to the Russian leader impossible. In national news, Biden to storm-ravaged Florida, we're not going to leave. President Joe Biden surveyed the devastation of hurricane-ravaged Florida on Wednesday, promising to marshal the power of the federal government to have rebuild as he comforted local residents alongside their governor Ron DeSantis, a potential 2024 foe. Both men declared they were putting politics aside for now. Today we have one job and only one job, and that's to make sure the people in Florida get everything they need to fully, thoroughly recover, Biden said in this southwestern Florida community that bore the brunt of Ian's assault. Earlier, DeSantis and his wife greeted the president and first lady as they arrived at Fisherman's Wharf, where homes and businesses lay in ruins amid debris and muck after Hurricane Ian tore through last week. Biden and DeSantis spoke by themselves next to a boat the storm had lifted into a cafe, then moved separately among local residents hit hard by the hurricane. The scope of the devastation was immense. Biden's motorcade drove by wind-shorn trees, some uprooted, others with branches pulled backwards by the storm. Fields off the highway were still flooded, forming stagnant lagoons. In more national news, lawsuits settled, film may resume after Alec Baldwin shooting. The family of a cinematographer shot and killed by Alec Baldwin on the set of the film Rust has agreed to settle a lawsuit against the actor and the movie's producers, and producers aim to restart the project in January despite unresolved workplace safety sanctions. And finally, in entertainment news, Winfrey and Letterman among moderators for Michelle Obama tour. Oprah Winfrey, David Letterman, and Ellen DeGeneres are among the celebrity moderators joining former First Lady Michelle Obama on tour for her upcoming book, The Light We Carry, Overcoming in Uncertain Times. For me, the Light We Carry book tour will be about starting important conversations and digging deeper into the questions that all of us are grappling with as we live through uncertain times, Obama said in a statement released on Wednesday by her publisher Crown and the tour's producer Live Nation. I can't wait to get back on the road and dive into it with such a thoughtful, impressive group of moderators. On Wednesday, Crown and Live Nation also announced that Obama has added 7 stops to her month-long 6-city tour, which begins at Washington's Warner Theater on November the 15th, the book's publication date. Additional appearances have been scheduled in Washington, along with Chicago, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Chicago, and San Francisco. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for a message from my book, Word That Choose to Live By. Enjoy. Good Thursday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Word That Choose to Live By. Though it is not always easy, you have to be able to let go of that which hurts the most. It's your decision. Let's make the right one today. Have a great Thursday. Author Colette R. Harrell is featured today's Entertainment Spotlight. We're here on Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Author Colette R. Harrell joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about her literary journey and her new book later. Here's a bit of our conversation. Colette, hello to you and welcome to the program.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, the pleasure is definitely all mine, Colette. Again, this is a big month for authors, it being National Book Month. We're glad that we could be celebrating you and sharing your messages on our different platforms this month. I want to talk about that first for you, Colette. I introduced you as author Colette R. Harrell. Have you gotten used to being called an author and knowing that you have books for the world to read?
Absolutely not. I am just thrilled to be in a place where I used to dream about being. You know, when I started writing my first novel, which was The Devil Made Me Do It, I received a lot of feedback from friends, and it took me about a year to write the first book. And when I engaged people, they would be like, well, where are you in your book? And I'm like, well, I'm still writing. And then the process went to, once it was completed, well, where are you into selling the book? And I'm like, well, I'm still pitching it. And then once I sold the book and it became published, I still had problems. I was still that person that was writing the book. I couldn't believe that this was something that actually came out of me and was on library bookshelves and was out there for people to read. And it was an amazing feeling. And I even now pinch myself because I am doing what I dreamed about doing at a very young age.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning into this edition of Conversations Daily News. We'll bet you guys on tomorrow to wrap up this week. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Now let's go make it a great one.